My name is Julie Dean. I am 30 years old, Colonel of the United States Army, and tomorrow I will be sitting opposite my father and brother in a high-profile defense contract meeting. Just don't you know that I'm the Pentagon liaison officer with final authorization authority. 5 years ago, I left this house without looking back. I was tired of it. The disappointment. The daughter who threw away her future by preferring military service to studying business administration. My father once told me that the army was for people without real opportunities. That was the last meaningful conversation we had. Tonight, I'm back home for family dinner. My mom is going to talk about Logan's promotion. My dad will nod proudly, and someone will ask me if I still travel around a lot. I'm not going to argue. I will not correct you, because tomorrow, when your boss addresses me as a colonel in front of a room full of executives, the silence will speak for itself. Let them have this night. Everything will change tomorrow. The driveway was narrower than I remembered it. My old car used to fit in here without any problems, but now my rented black SUV seemed too sharp, too much at the place next to my mother's old minivan. I turned off the engine and sat in silence, let the hum of the heater fade away. My palms were dry now. Military calm, they would call it, but my stomach was still spinning as if before a deployment. The porch was on. It threw a warm yellow light on the exfoliated doormat and the faded front door. Nothing had changed. Not the cracked steps. Not the brown hedges that had to be cut urgently, and certainly not the feeling that awaited me inside. This special mixture of invisibility and simultaneous overanalysis. I rang the bell out of habit. There is a lot of work behind bringing these stories to life for you. If you support us with a simple subscription, it will not only help the channel, it gives us the power to create moving stories for you. We appreciate you with all our heart. Juliet called my mother from the kitchen. Nothing came to the door. It's open. Of course it was. I pushed the door open and entered. The same floral scent, the same wall with rammed photos. Logan's graduation, his wedding, his 2 sons. Not a single picture of me in uniform. Not even the appointment portrait I sent 5 years ago. Dinner is almost ready, my mother said without looking up as I entered the kitchen. Logan and Meryl are on their way. Logan was promoted again. You won't believe it. I smiled politely. That's great. Mom, you have to congratulate him. He is now leading the entire system integration team. Everyone at your father's company says he has a great future ahead of him. This expression, a great future, had haunted me before. He always sounded like a train I had missed. Now it was just noise. The dining table was set for 6. There were no name cards, but the seating arrangement was clear. Lying at the head of the father to his right mother between them and me, somewhere where it did not matter. Loden and Morel arrived on time, as always. He wore the sacco, which says, "I am important, but do not give me any trouble." And she brought a bottle of wine that none of us would really enjoy, but everyone would pretend to appreciate it. "Hey, Jewel," said Loden and hugged me briefly, his gaze already directed over my shoulder today. "Not seen for a long time, 5 years," I replied. He blinked, obviously unsure if I was joking. I wasn't joking. We ate roast beef, mashed potatoes, and the same side salad that Mother had been making since I was 10 years old. Loden effortlessly dominated the conversation. He described corporate restructurings, performance bonuses, and what his team was doing for the military sector of the company. My father looked like he was almost crying with pride. "And you?" My mother turned to me with her smile politely, but empty. "Are you still traveling with the army?" I took a sip of water. "More or less." "Are you still captain?" Dee asked, not taking his eyes off his fork. "Something like that." "Must be hard to be in the field all the time," Logan added. "No long-term strategy or just following orders." I did not answer. I didn't have to. My uniform was still carefully folded in the back of my suitcase at the top. The silver eagle badge caught the light through the fabric. Tomorrow you would find out how much strategy I was responsible for. For now, I let her talk. It would be the last time they talked about me. I spent most of the evening in my old room, sitting on the edge of a single bed, which was covered with the same patchwork quilt that my grandmother sewed when I was Zubular. The walls were still lined with relics of a version of me that they had once believed in. Basketball trophies, certificates of honor, university admission letters, every achievement before the moment I joined the Roch. After that, I became a chilling example in this house. There were no framed articles about my cybersecurity awards, no photos of my deployments, no certificates that marked my promotions to major, then to lieutenant colonel. The most significant achievement of my life, colonel in the USA Cyber Command at the age of 30, was completely invisible in this house. I remembered the day when I told them about the red tip pendium. I was expecting hesitation. I did not expect disgust. My father had looked at me as if I had thrown myself away. "The military is for people with no real potential," he had said. "You were always destined for greater things." He, of course, meant his version of bigger, an MBA, a corner office, and ideally a position under his fetish at Westbridge Technologies of the same defense company to which he had devoted his life. It should always be a lie. And when Loden effortlessly entered into this form, the family history was complete. I was not the daughter who chose a different path. I was the daughter who wasted hers. From below, I heard the echo of laughter, the deep laughter of my father, the gentle of my mother. Logan exuberant self-confidence, the sound of a tribe gathering around a chosen successor. I had gotten used to it, but the irony was almost poetic now. Logan had just been promoted to head the systems integration team for the military contract I was now overseeing. He didn't know. None of them knew. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I would march into Westbridge Technologies in full uniform, write letters to the board as the Pentagon liaison officer for Project Sentinel, and evaluate the same technical strategy with the lodges at dinner. Back in my room, I opened my suitcase and took out the uniform. Midnight blue, impeccably ironed. My ribbons and medals aligned more precisely.